I just,
I agree, but I disagree.
When Macho Man was champion, he was billed at 248. He was probably more like 220. He was like the threshold. He was like that was it. If you were lighter than that, McMahon never gave you a shot.
No.
If you were lighter than 220, you weren't a heavyweight champion. There was no way. Now you got some of these guys that are 248, 260. Lesnar, who moves like nobody's business at his weight. You have the Undertaker near 300 pounds. You have Kane near 300 pounds. Those are heavyweights. Now, that or where do you go? Do you go say, all right, well, the WWE Heavyweight Championship is good for anybody, but if we want to get guys like Kane and Undertaker or Big Cass or Lesnar or Braun Strowman, then we should have a super heavyweight division.
Another title?
But if you look at it, it would be a very talented. If you're 240 or more, super heavyweight. I feel that it would be a very talented division.
It would, but you're still narrowing down the competition.
Mark Henry, Big Show. I'm sure there's some guys in NXT.
I'm sure, but you're still gonna have the WWE Universe saying, "Well, what about AJ Styles? What about Seth Rollins?"
AJ Styles. It could just be just like UFC. If your guy wants to fight for the title, you got to make weight.
Oof. That's asking a lot from a WWE superstar to make weight. I mean, they're so used to packing on muscle. I mean, that's all it's about, is they want them to get bigger. They want everybody bigger.
But here's what happens. When you start cutting down on the amount of percentage of body fat compared to muscle, that's when the injuries happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only 3% body fat, but I'm always hurt. I'm always on the disabled list. Jose Reyes for years with the Mets. Perfect example. The guy's ripped beyond belief. He was always on the disabled list because he was like 4% body fat. You have nothing but muscle, so your tendency of pulling muscle and tearing muscle is a lot more than a guy who has 8% body fat. There's got to be a balance.
But I can't see them going in that direction. I can't.
It'd be interesting, though.
It would be interesting.
It'd be really, really cool if you think about it. It's like, all right, Finn Balor, you want to fight Sheamus for the world championship?
Yeah, pack on 50 pounds.
Pack on like 40 pounds, my friend. Get up to that 230 mark at least. Sheamus is about 230, so all right, put it on. Or Sheamus, lose 25 pounds.
You change their skill set once you do that.
You might add years onto their career too if you tell them to lose 25 pounds.
You could, but they'll be different wrestlers.
Mark Henry's not going to be fighting Finn Balor.
He ain't dropping 40 pounds either.
Yeah, he's going to be dropping 40 pounds on his lunch plate.
I think we've seen the last of him. I really do.
I know Mark Henry's way beyond anything with WWE TV, but
yeah,
I think it's more of nostalgia to have him around. Plus, from what I understand, he's really good in the clubhouse. He's great with the younger guys. He takes them under their wing and teaches them a lot of stuff. And some of these superstars who have been there a while, like the Big Show and Mark Henry, and even Zack Ryder and guys like that, even though he's back on TV, they've been there so long. They've seen so much change that they're able to help these guys, especially coming down the ring and knowing which way to look at the cameras and which cameras are going to be looking at them when they're coming down the ramp and stuff like that. I mean,
don't break the fifth rule.
People do it. People break the fifth wall all the time. I mean,
Punk.
We see it on TV now. You just even like sitcoms now, like break the fifth wall. So it's no big deal. But getting back to Battleground.
What?
Yeah. I don't even want to get into Battleground. Okay, but just stick with Raw. Now you got Sasha Banks. She defeats Charlotte for the title.
Unbelievable, right? Did you see that
match.
Title change on Raw?
Great match. Great match.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. She paid tribute to. I'm really bad today with the names.
Who's paying tribute?
Sasha Banks paid tribute to
Eddie Guerrero?
Eddie Guerrero with the... she took the title belt and threw herself on the floor and then flipped it to Dana Brooks and make it look like Dana Brooke hit her in the head with the belt. Mm-hmm. Dana Brooke wound up getting thrown out of ringside at that point, which was great. And, she's sitting on the floor with a smirk on her face. And, she winds up evening up the match one-on-one, gets in the ring and, does her thing. And it was a great match. But now they have their rematch at SummerSlam. What does this say? You can't have Charlotte win this title back. You can't have the fans were wanting Sasha Banks. We want Sasha Banks. Chanting the girl's name when she wasn't even on TV. Mm-hmm. During other matches. She finally wins the title after she makes her comeback after who defeated Paige defeated Charlotte, and then Sasha Banks came down. So now you're kind of like, all right, you're putting it back in the face of WWE Universe. Here you are. Here's Sasha Banks. You wanted her. Here you go. Now you have to keep the belt on her. You can't stomp all over the title now and just keep flipping it back and forth. You can't. So she's got to have a little bit of a reign.
But do you give her a reign like Charlotte?
No, it doesn't have to be a year reign. It could be a couple months. It could be to WrestleMania.
I don't think you should even get that far with it.
But who else are you going to do? You got to remember, she's only going to fight girls on Raw.
This was a terrible idea.
That's what I'm saying. She's only going to fight girls on Raw. So now who on Raw is a champion? Dana Brooke? No. So it's Charlotte. It's Paige. Are they going to give Paige another run?
I think she deserves it.
I think she deserves it too. You give the girl victories over Charlotte when Charlotte was champion in multiple non-title matches, but as soon as it's a title match, Dana Brooks becomes involved.
Yeah, it's a problem. And, I just don't understand why... Because they have a women's division, but it's not like their men's division. It's not as big. It's not as wide. So how are you going to even give that title prestige now? How are you going to build her up when you don't even have that much competition to put her up against?
That's what I've been saying. It's hard now with the split and one title on one show only to have a really good women's division. Yeah, you might have a good women's division, but you're not going to put a title on Naomi.
Oh, I got someone that could squash it. Nia.
Nia's terrible right now.
She's a monster.
Yeah, but she's terrible. I mean, she's not. Her skill set's kind of awful. A lot of people were very upset that she got drafted over Bayley.
Yeah, but without Bayley in NXT, what women do you have down there at this moment to really draw like her?
You don't. That's why she's there.
Exactly. And just off the subject for a second, I really like the idea of them bringing back no names. Like how you see Nia Jax destroy that girl. Don't even know her name.
Oh, you're talking about like local?
Yeah. How you seen Braun Strowman
destroy that
eat whoever that was alive. I would like to see the roles reversed a little bit and see the nobody actually get a victory. We'll put them over on somebody.
It'll probably never happen because...
But you need that surprise effect once in a while.
The fact that these people are on TV is more than they will need for their career right now. They're local talent and, local to the area where the TV taping is. And that's right there. They probably can't ask for any more. That teaches them a ton because now they're on WWE TV. They got it. They're wrestling a superstar. It's going to do some great things for their career, which is a lot better doing it that way than it was when they were coming down as the bunny and the freaking.
It is.
Adam Rose's little thing, and
it is. But you could give him a cheapie. You could throw somebody up against the Miz and somebody and have him roll up, hit him, and get a cheap crowd pop out of it.
Yeah, I mean,
so everything isn't predictable. I mean, when you see somebody standing in the ring and you don't hear their
but that's
music,
the way it was.
that's
the way it was in the '80s too. And you had like Barry O and Barry Horowitz.
I loved it.
I mean, those guys always got. You always knew they were going to lose, but it was it was just a. My problem is, and was in the '80s, was taking guys that used to be superstars and making them permanent jobbers. That's where I had a problem. When Greg Valentine and Tito Santana and Tony Garea, they became like, they would lose every week to somebody, to the Ultimate Warrior or to the Honky Tonk Man. Or, it was just unknown it was going to be a loss, because the WWE didn't know what to do with them anymore. But they've been loyal to the company for 30 years and, they didn't want to cut them. So they made them into jobbers. That I don't like. That I have a problem with. That's kind of what Buck Henry's turned into.
Yeah. The
world's strongest jobber.
Yeah.
And that, for him not to be pissed off and for him to just deal with that and, it's, it is what it is. It's kind of like when we talked to Damian Sandow last week, and we asked him if he was pissed off about how he was used and how they didn't have any ideas left for him. And he just, he basically said you're in the hands of the creative team and, you're not in a business where you can go to them with an idea, usually. Sometimes you can. New Day, they went to creative with their idea. Nobody thought it would work. It did, but you got to give New Day credit for working really hard at making it work.
Absolutely.
They got themselves over with the fans. WWE Creative did it.
They failed. WWE Creative failed miserably with them.
But yeah, when they first they tried, they almost kind of brought him down, wanted to bring him down as like
a church choir or something.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like the whole new when it was Ron Simmons and The Rock and what the hell were they when did the African
the Nation of Domination?
The Nation of Domination. It was kind of like that, where they had them come down and they kind of took all the black guys together in one group and they even tried to get Mark Henry involved in that.
Holy crap, they did.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
But
that they segregated them like that. They had The Rock and Henry, Farouk. They had The Godfather or Kamo, whatever the hell his name was.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable. But credit to New Day. New Day rocks.
Yeah, the New Day. Now people can say, well, how long is New Day going to be over with the fans doing this gimmick? I feel they're going to be as over as long as they're champs. They lose those titles. I don't think their gimmick's going to last.
Well, no, that they lose the titles. It's called for a breakup, and that'll happen in the midst of them losing the titles. They've already hinted to it.
Well,
we've seen that.
Yeah, but that whole thing with the Wyatt family is done.
They're scrapping it now.
I mean, it's done. Well, they're all different shows now. You got Rowan is on one show, Strowman's on another.
Strowman's on Raw.
Wyatt's on Raw.
No, Wyatt's on SmackDown.
Oh yeah, Wyatt and Rowan are on SmackDown.
Yeah. And
Strowman is on Raw, and Harper's not back yet.
No.
So
when Harper comes back, you put him on Raw with Strowman. Then maybe you have something there. I mean, that's a pretty crazy take.
It kind of looked like they had Xavier Woods on the mind control.
Yeah.
And then maybe he was going to cost them the title or something. I really thought that they were going to be the next champs, the Wyatt family, but then they did this.
We thought a lot of things about
split. Yeah, well, that's WWE. Every time building up Bray Wyatt, they put him in that 6-pack match, building him up. He was the
one to win that. He should have won that.
They built him up again and again. They just dispersed him.
I mean, I don't understand why also during these shows like SmackDown and Raw, and you have a main event that you're pushing as the main event from the beginning of the show, why don't you have a poll and have fans vote who they want to see win? Doesn't necessarily have to be the winner, but
really. They used to do that. Remember the tweets?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tweet vote.
But what does the WWE Universe want? Sometimes you need to give them what they want. You can't give us Dolph Ziggler against Dean Ambrose when Dolph Ziggler was one of the biggest jobbers we've ever seen in the past.
You know, people
year
were like, oh,
or so.
he